Good morning sa ating lahat. Tara, basa na tayo nating libro guys. The Word in Other Words Bible Diary 2023. Today is 08 July 2025. Nandito na tayo sa page ng 26 August Saturday, 28th week in Ordinary Time. That green comma, PS is 4. Pakisabayan niyo ako ng basa sa inyong Biblia. The Word, first reading, Ruth chapter 2 verse 1 to verse 3, verse 8 to verse 11, chapter 4, verse 13 to verse 17. Itong mahirap dito pagkalaktaw-laktaw eh. Masusundan niyo ba ako? Alitin ko na lang. The Word, first reading, Ruth chapter 2, verse 1 to verse 3, verse 8 to verse 11, and then chapter 4, verse 13 to verse 17. Maingay na yung tilaok ng manok sa amin. Okay. Naomi had a prominent kinsman named Boaz of the clan of her husband Elimelech. Ruth the Moabite said to Naomi, "Let me go and glean ears of grain in the field of anyone who will allow me that favor." Naomi said to her, "Go, my daughter," and she went. The field she entered to glean after the harvesters happened to be the section belonging to Boaz of the clan of Elimelech. Boaz said to Ruth, "Listen, my daughter, do not go to glean in anyone else's field. You are not to live here. Stay here with my women servants. Watch to see which field is to be harvested and follow them. I have commanded the young men to do you no harm. When you are thirsty, you may go and drink from the vessels the young men have filled." Casting herself prostrate upon the ground, she said to him, "Why should I, a foreigner, be favored with your notice?" Boaz answered, her, "I have had a complete account of what you have done for your mother-in-law after your husband's death. You have left your father and your mother and the land of your birth, and have come to a people whom you did not know previously." Boaz took Ruth when they came together as man and wife. The Lord enabled her to conceive, and she bore a son. Then the woman said to Naomi, "Blessed is the Lord who has not failed to provide you today with an heir. May he become famous in Israel. He will be your comfort and support of your old age, for his mother is the daughter-in-law who loves you. She is worth more to you than 7 sons." Naomi took the child, placed him on her lap, and became his nurse. And the neighbor women gave him his name. At the news that a grandson had been born to Naomi, they called him Obed. He has the father of Jesse, the father of David. Gospel reading, Matthew chapter 23 verse 1 to verse 12. Pagka dyan family tree na guys, hindi ko na yan inaano. Mahirap. Nahihirapan ako dyan mag-trace eh. Gospel reading, Matthew chapter 23 verse 1 to verse 12. Jesus spoke to the crowds and to his disciples, saying, "The scribes and the Pharisees have taken their seat on the chair of Moses. Therefore do and observe all things whatsoever they tell you, but do not follow their example. For they preach, but they do not practice. They tie up heavy burdens, hard to carry, and lay them on people's shoulders, but they will not lift a finger to move them. All their works are performed to be seen. They widen their phylacteries. Anong phylacteries, guys? They widen their phylacteries and lengthen their tassels. They love places of honor at banquets, seats of honor in synagogues, greetings in marketplaces, and the salutation, Rabbi. As for you, do not be called Rabbi. You have but one teacher, and you are all brothers. Call no one on earth your father, You have but one Father in heaven. Do not be called Master. You have but one Master, the Messiah. The greatest among you must be your servant. Whoever exalts himself will be humbled, but whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Nandito na tayo sa In Other Words by Father Antonio Pigon, SBD DSWT, Tagaytay City. I had a paternal half-brother who was considered the best cook in our community. Barangay, he never went to school, so he could neither read nor write, but he was good at counting. Of the few talents he had, cooking was the most appreciated and sought after. How he learned to cook, he never told me. His wife was the one who gave the names to his recipes. All the 3 daughters and 2 sons of my brother also learned how to cook. As the siblings were growing up, their father, Manong Waning, would instruct them to observe him cook in the kitchen or tell them to assist him in preparing the menu on special occasions. This was the best legacy my nephews and nieces inherited from their father. Until now, these nephews and nieces of mine are often invited by friends and relatives to cook for them on special occasions like fiestas, weddings, birthdays, novenas for the deceased, and other smaller occasions, and very often they would render their services free of charge. Of course, the host of the celebration would share with the cook part of the leftovers that would serve as their remuneration. Spirituality is caught nor taught. Similarly, education is not really taught but caught. The cooking talent of my nephews and nieces was caught by observing their father work in the kitchen. Of course, there were occasional instructions from the chief cook, their father. In the Gospel, Jesus cautions the people not to follow the bad example of the scribes and Pharisees, who teach the law of Moses but do not observe them. In our context, the scribes and Pharisees belong to the alta. The scribes and Pharisees belong to the alta sociedad, high society, and so they are the ones seen at the presidential table on special occasions or given the front seats at official gatherings and the like. In other words, Jesus is telling us to practice humility, which is a virtue many find hard to practice. In the case of my nephews and nieces, they listened to their father with humility, so they learned a lot from their father. One way of practicing humility is to listen to one another. Nobody has the monopoly of wisdom and knowledge. Therefore, it is important that we listen and learn from one another. Humble listening to one another will certainly lead to loving one another. To paraphrase a saying, nobody is so filled with wisdom and knowledge that he cannot learn any more from others, and nobody is so devoid of wisdom and knowledge that he has nothing to share with others. Bukas na itong 27 August, Sunday, 09 July 2025. Nilalagyan natin ng tanda, guys, para hindi tayo malito. Wala kasi silang page numbering. Bye everyone. God bless us.